Just arrived to Armature Works. I paid $10 to park, which I was not expecting to. There's 20 minutes left of this art festival. I don't really know if it's an art festival, but every third Sunday of the month they do this here. And this is my first time coming, so I just wanted to check it out. So right outside Armature Works, there's all these white chairs that you can go sit on, and so I went outside, and I actually wasn't planning on staying there for a long time because I had originally just planned on going to that little art fair, and then I realized there was only 20 minutes of it left, and since I paid for the full day of parking, which was $10, I figured why not get my money's worth, make a whole day out of it. So I went and sat down on those chairs in front of Armature Works, and as I was sitting there was this group of boys behind me kicking around a soccer ball, and I overheard one of the moms tell, I'm assuming it was her son, she was like, oh, his footwork is really good because he's been practicing a lot, and he started practicing a year ago. And she was telling her son, yeah, only a year, but he's been practicing a lot, so he got really good. His dad was telling me he practices in these small spaces, and I think it was really great to hear that because her son was probably discouraged seeing, wow, this kid is so much better than I am, and I'm so bad. And I think that's a really good lesson that we can all learn from, is that, or something that we know but we need to remember, is that sometimes we compare ourselves to other people when in reality they have just put in a lot more practice than we have, or they're just farther along in their journey, even though they might be the same age as us or younger. It's such a common thing for us to compare. So I loved hearing that because it reminded me as well too. We can look at someone who's doing the same thing we're doing and think, wow, they're so much better than we are, or more talented, or they just got really lucky, or they were born talented. I had to move from my spot over there because all these families and kids kept running by, and the last thing that parents want, I'm sure, is their child being videotaped by strangers. So I decided it's probably better to just go to a more neutral background. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I was talking about how we shouldn't compare ourselves to others, and I think it's really great that kids learn that from an early age. As you see another kid, and it's so easy to think, wow, they're just so lucky, or they're just so talented, they just got lucky, they just were born with these talents. And there is an element of natural talent, but we also should remember sometimes other people just put in so much more practice than we have. And for that mom to tell her son, like, oh, well, he's been practicing a lot, instead of saying, oh, well, you know, you're just bad, or you're not athletic, or you're whatever the case might be. I also saw a post on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I try to post a lot of these advice, tips for creative people, and this was 4 things holding you back from creating. And the first one is the gap. Feel like everything you create just isn't as good as you imagined. It's because your taste develops faster than your skill. And then it says the solution is don't compare yourself to others who might have much more experience, but to yourself from yesterday. And I think that's a really good thing to remember, is compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Don't compare yourself to the other person who maybe has a year or many years more of practice than you have. But our only competition should be our former self. So yeah, I was really glad that I spent that extra time at Armature Works. It's not really a place where I would usually go and hang out by myself. It's kind of a place you go to hang out with other people, go get some food, get some drinks, hang out, have a good time. But I was just there for the art fair, but I figured I paid $10 for parking, might as well make a day out of it because I already paid. So yeah, so I was sitting in that chair, people watching, listening. Then when I was leaving, I was walking back to the car and I saw a dark cloud in the sky. And typical Florida fashion, as I hear, it rains constantly and it's hot all summer. It just randomly starts pouring rain out of nowhere every single day. So I got into the car, and as soon as I got into the car, it started pouring rain. And as I was on the drive there, it was pouring rain. And I was thinking to myself, wow, of course it's raining. You know, our mind goes to the negative place of, I wanted to go to this art fair and just have a nice day, and of course rain has to ruin all my plans. But it actually worked out perfectly because it was pouring rain. It stopped raining when I got out of the car, went to the art fair, sat outside in the sunshine, got back in the car a few hours later, and then it started raining again. So it was perfect how it worked out. And I think instead of being negative about these things, we should be grateful for, wow, that worked out perfectly. So it's all about cultivating those little moments of gratitude. For example, I went to Oxford Exchange recently as well, and it's kind of hard to find parking around there, at least from what I observed. I went around and there's some spots in the front and then there's street parking, but it didn't seem like there was much option for where to park. But as soon as I was pulling in, a car was pulling out right in front of Oxford Exchange, the perfect place, and I was so happy. But my first reaction was happiness, and then my second reaction was, oh no, someone else is gonna get the spot. I bet someone from the other side is gonna come zooming in and get it before I get a chance to get there. But that didn't happen, and it ended up working out perfect, and I got the spot. So I'm also trying to rid my brain of all those negative thoughts. It's like, just accept that something good is happening for you. I think we so often don't want to be disappointed, so we try to not get our hopes up. But I've been going through, I mentioned this before, but I've been going through a mastermind called the Women's School, the Art of Being a Woman Masterclass, and it's incredible. And one thing she talks about is life happens for you, not to you. And I've heard this before, but I've really been trying to let those words sink in and like actually believing it, that life happens for me, not to me. I feel like we can always get caught up in this victim mindset, victim mentality of, oh, all these bad things happen to me, and we're just kind of living a reactive life, rather than looking at what's happening around us of, oh, life is happening for me, and all of these beautiful things are happening for me, and the good things and the bad things too, sometimes. Maybe we don't know in the moment, but the bad things could actually be good for us. We just don't realize it. I hope that makes sense. You probably know what I'm talking about, because this has happened to everyone, of something in the moment bad happens and then it ends up actually being a blessing in disguise. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos every time I post, and I will see you in my next video.